Good evening, Drew.
Hey, Paul, welcome back. How you feeling, buddy?
I'm good. I'm a little sleepy, but I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved some things around in the doc here because I feel like we both have some things that I think we could talk about that we've done. Because we're recording this on a Sunday.
Sunday.
You were busy.
I was busy. Yeah. I went to Chicago.
I can't wait to hear about this.
Chicago. Yeah, it was a great time. Me and a few guys, we drove up Thursday to Chicago to see a concert on Friday, and then we did some Chicago stuff while we were there, and yeah, it was good. We had good food. The weather was good except for like the day of the concert, which was kind of chilly, but it was still fine. Yeah, good food. Got some drinks. Did a few Chicago things. Went to the art museum. The concert was absolutely incredible.
Let's back up a little bit. So you drove to Chicago. It's about a 6-hour drive.
It is. Yep.
It's not bad.
No,
it's not a bad drive.
It's
little Fort Wayne action on the way.
It's more time than I prefer to spend in a car. But
True.
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Now, what band did you go see?
So it was Deftones and Gojira. So Deftones was
right.
Deftones was the headliner. It was a great show.
But you were there more for Gojira, if I remember.
I was, but I have to be honest. The Deftones absolutely they crushed it. They had a great set. It was good. The crowd was good. We had splurged the money to get like the VIP passes. So we could go down into the general admission, like into the pit area, and we did that quite a bit. But we also had our own little bespoke area with its bespoke seating and our own bar and our own bathrooms, and that was lovely. Yeah.
Now, where did you stay in Chicago?
We stayed. I can't remember what district it was in. We stayed in an Airbnb. But it was great. It was in a great area. It was, quite a bit of stuff around us was walkable. So yeah.
That's awesome,
yeah,
man.
It was good.
And now,
it was good.
Now you got back yesterday, right?
No, I got back about 2 hours ago.
So when did you go there?
We went Thursday. So Thursday.
That's right, because we couldn't record on Thursday.
Yeah, we didn't do much on Thursday besides just kind of, get some food and stuff. And Friday was the concert. Saturday Friday was the art museum and the concert. Saturday was the planetarium and just some general like exploring. And and then today we came home.
Yeah, Chicago's a cool town, man. I've been there.
I like it.
I've been there 3 or 4 times now. I first went to Chicago for like the first official like DBA training I ever did. I went to a Brent Ozar class there, and I'll never forget. I mean, first of all, the training was great and I learned a lot and everything, but the one thing that sort of really sticks in my mind, I don't even know if this place is even here anymore. I'm going to do a quick little Google search here. Yeah, we met at this place. Come on, open up already. We met at a place called the Catalyst Ranch. I just put a link in the show notes, and it is a very, very cool place. It's multiple stories, and it's just decorated in a very unique style.
Cool.
And they have like different floors and different rooms, but they're all sort of styled in like this funky 60s, 70s, like hippie type layout thing. And I just remember being really cool, and like they had really good food, and I don't know if they catered it or if they had it brought in or what they did, but I just remember being really cool. And like that was like the first time I went to Chicago. And then I was there a couple other times for like some sequel Saturdays and things. And then I interviewed for a job in Chicago, the one that Eric was telling me to run away from.
Got it.
Yeah, I interviewed at a company there, and I was there for like literally like a night. Like they put me up in a hotel. I got there late. I had dinner, went to bed, got up, interviewed, and then came on a plane and got home. But no, Chicago's a cool town. I don't know if I necessarily, I don't know if I'll necessarily like go back there anytime soon, because I don't really have anything going on. But I have never been there I've never been there in like the dead of summer. I think every time I've been there, it's either been like fall or spring.
Yeah.
But now, was the concert outdoors or no?
Yes, it was at this place. It was like the Huntington Park Pavilion.
Okay.
Park. Let me see if I can find it. Chicago. Autocomplete's not working, so that's kind of Huntington Bank Pavilion at Northerly Island.
Northerly Island.
So it's up. So it's kind of in the same area as the like the aquarium and the planetarium and all that stuff up there, kind of right on the lake.
That's cool.
So yeah, it was nice. It was the venue was right on the water. It was outdoors, of course. It was a little chilly that night, unfortunately, but you put a jacket on and you get by.
Put a jacket on.
Yeah.
Now, did Corey King go?
Yes, Corey King
and his good smelling friend.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
So there was 4 of you then?
Yeah, there was 4. Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I could say that I had exciting stuff going on around here. I would say that a couple quick little hit notes that I want to sort of mention here is, since we last recorded, 2 really important things that have sort of happened adjacent to me is I went to my first ever brunch wedding.
Ooh. Okay.
Traditionally, the weddings I have gone to afternoon weddings. I've gone to weddings that have started, ceremonies at noon, cocktail hour or hours, and then dinner on like a Saturday afternoon. I've gone to Saturday evening weddings. I mean, we got married on a Saturday evening. But this was the first time I actually had like a brunch type wedding. So my cousin, Jenna, got married, and she had it here at a golf club here in Dublin. And I got to say, it was great. Like, it was not a huge wedding, but also not a small wedding. And the way they sort of did it was super great. Like, they had it outdoors. So just a couple little quick things, right? And I'm not like a wedding snob, and like my wedding was just like as traditional as you can get. But people are doing so many crazy things with weddings these days that like I wouldn't even know these are things, right? So let me just give you some of the highlights. So the ceremony was outdoors. I mean, that doesn't really strike me as being too odd, but what they did is they had a painter come, and the painter set up shop like on the patio and painted like the background of the scene, and then took a picture of the ceremony, and then while the reception was going on, she sort of painted the foreground. So they have like a painting of like them at the altar and everybody seated and everything. So I thought that was like
that's neat.
That's a very cool memento of the day.
Yeah.
Ceremony was super brief. I don't think it was more than like 15 or 20 minutes, which seems about right. I've attended several very long Catholic mass weddings, and that's not something that I want to sign up for ever again.
Right. Yeah.
But then they had a cocktail hour and a half while they went and got pictures taken. Now, cocktail hour, because it was a brunch wedding, was mimosas, and I'm very gay for mimosas. Like, I love mimosas, and they made good ones. I mean, they had other cocktails and things, but that was the other thing. While we were seated and waited for the ceremony to begin, like, you were supposed to grab a mimosa and go to your seat, which game changer. So I drank a lot of mimosas, and then they were bringing around hors d'oeuvres. The hors d'oeuvres, Paul, were chicken and like quote unquote chicken and waffles. So they were little pieces of chicken with like syrup on them, no waffle. Okay. And then like really like sumptuous, savory, very, very large pieces of candied bacon. Now listen, I'm a simple man. I'm a simple man. You could have fed me that, and I would have been absolutely fine. I would have been absolutely fine with, I ate a lot. I ate a lot while we were waiting. So then we go in and we do like the actual brunch, and they had like quiche Lorraine, and they had all sorts of stuff. They had donuts, and they had potatoes with peppers and all this stuff. And it was like super cool. And then, we weren't in there very long. Like, they did their little speech things, and then we did everything. And then they had an after party down at Pins Mechanical. I didn't go to that, but yeah, it was super cool. It was the first time I'd ever had a brunch wedding. So Jenna, if you're still listening to the show, I think at one time you said you did. outstanding thing. Really happy for you and Josh.
Congratulations, Jenna.
Yeah. The other thing that I'm sort of happy to announce is that friend of the show, John Krebs, recently had a baby.
Yes.
Well, his wife had a baby. His wife had a baby. We've had it on our radar to go over and meet their daughter. We finally had a chance to do that this past weekend. Just schedules didn't align, and they were sort of, inundated with family. And, it's one of those things where trying to plan it around a newborn, and they're tired and they're sleeping and everything. But my wife and I were really happy that we got to go meet baby Ren. And it was just super nice. He recently moved to a new house, so seeing the house and the baby and everything, it's my heart was pretty full. I'm really happy for John, really happy for Megan, and it's really good. It's really good. Okay, so let's get to the part of the show where we talk about stuff we spent money on.
Okay, I'm here for this. Let's do it.
Okay, I bought an internet mattress.
Okay, what did you end up buying?
I got a Casper.
Ooh.
Now, a couple quick notes here. So I need to say that this mattress is not for me. It's not for me. Because we were hosting people that were staying with us for the wedding that I mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It has been on my to-do list to get some new mattresses and like box springs for my upstairs, because now I have all this room. And people want to stay with us when they come and visit. And I love that. And it's part of the reason we got the bigger house, because we want to be able to host people and do things and everything. The conundrum was that at my old house, I had one extra bed, and it was a full size frame. And at one point we had a box spring and a full mattress. Now, I made a mistake. So the mistake was, when we bought our new Thuma bed frame, we took our old bed frame, which was fine. It's not anything fancy. It's not anything great, but it has like the built-in drawers in the bottom. We moved that into our spare bedroom. We disassembled the full frame, and we put the full mattress on the queen size frame. I know, I'm an idiot. So what I needed to do, hang on a second. Someone's at my front door.
Ooh.
What is happening?
I hear Rocky.
What is this? Yeah, he's going nuts. We got an Amazon delivery at 9:14 on a Sunday.
It happens. It happens now.
Why would...
That's a thing.
Oh, my dog's going to bark forever. Well,
have you ever had, like, my wife has done this before, where like she bought something and accidentally selected like the overnight delivery, and they deliver it in like at the wee hours of the morning?
No.
Yeah, that's fun.
Like what? Like wee hours of the morning? Like how early?
Like 4 a.m. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know how Amazon does it, but I'm shocked. I'm shocked, but I guess I'm not super shocked that we get deliveries at this hour. It's 9:15 on a Sunday on Memorial Day weekend.
Yep.
Big Daddy Amazon don't stop.
Yeah, they got to get that stuff you bought out, so you can buy. You can get that stuff, get the dopamine hit, and then buy more stuff.
Yeah, I don't even know what it is. It looks. I'm looking at my security cameras right now, and it looks very cylindrical. So should I go get it?
You should go get it.
That's good. Should go get it. All right, vamp for a second.
I'm just going to sit here and quiet and then cut all of this out.
Okay. Package successfully retrieved and got the dog calmed down, so we don't have to edit out my dog. Anyway, where was I?
Internet Mattress.
Oh, yeah, Internet Mattress. So we had this full-size mattress on our queen-size frame, and then when we moved to the new house, like we assembled the frame, and I guess I forgot that I got rid of the box spring at some point. So what I ended up doing is I sort of like was camping out on several like internet mattress websites looking for stuff to go on sale. And Casper happened to do their Memorial Day sale like 2 weeks early, because why wouldn't you?
Yeah, right.
So I ended up getting a Casper original mattress that is foam. It is not a hybrid. That's the one I got, and it's fine. I mean, it came in a big box. It was kind of fun to like break the seal on it and watch it inflate, like those little dinosaurs used to put in water.
Yep.
I forget what those are called. But I mean, it's fine. I laid on it. It's a little firm for my taste. But I mean, it's a perfectly fine mattress. Like was reasonably priced. I mean, even on sale, it was still like $1,200 or something. Like it's fine. But the thing that I was also sort of kind of really interesting to get was, where is it? Yes. I ended up ordering also what Casper calls their foundation, which is like their take on the box spring. And it's pretty cool. It comes in like 4 pieces. It's held together with some pegs, and then it's got some slats that go across it. I mean, exactly what you would sort of think of for a box spring.
Okay.
But it looks pretty nice because it's got like fabric exterior, and it's very sturdy. So I ended up getting that too. So I ordered a full-size foundation and then a queen-size mattress, and then played like musical mattresses and sort of got everything together. I was overall pretty happy with the purchase. Again, I sort of ordered this like the day I left Israel because I needed it the week.
Got it.
I needed it to arrive for the weekend that was coming up after that. And I had a moment of panic where, like, on the website it said, everything's in stock, shipping's typically 3 to 5 days. So like I was happy. And then like I ordered that on the Friday that I got home.
Mm-hmm.
I literally ordered it, I think, from like the Delta Lounge.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And, Monday rolled around and it still hadn't shipped. Tuesday rolled around and it still hadn't shipped. And I called them and they're like, oh, well, in our system, quote unquote, our system, we see that you already have a tracking number and it should be there Thursday. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, I'll sort of take your word for it. So like Wednesday finally came and went, and they sent me a tracking number and it said Thursday for delivery. And I'm like, cool. Thursday became Friday. It like showed up Friday kind of late, but it got there in time. So I was kind of happy with that. Their customer service was also like super nice. It was actually talking to humans and not like a chatbot.
Nice.
And like I said, I think for the price and for everything, it looked pretty good. Which one did you get? You have a purple.
No,
one,
we have a Tempur-Pedic that we still use.
Tempur-Pedic,
yes.
That's the one.
Yep.
Now I think having gone through all of this, I'm probably eventually going to replace our mattress with a nice Internet mattress. I would probably get another Casper. I'd probably do the hybrid this time. But the Tempur-Pedic is still pretty high up on my list. And I know we've talked about like mattresses and stuff before, but
we have.
Just going through the whole ordering process and getting it done was pretty interesting.
Yeah, we need a new one eventually, and I think it probably will be a Casper, but who knows?
You wouldn't go with another Tempur-Pedic again?
I don't know. I just kind of want to. I hear Casper on my podcast, and I want to use an offer code. I don't know.
I didn't have a valid offer code. They just had like a rough like 15% off that I was able to sort of snag as part of the sale.
Cool.
But anyway, let's talk about peripherals. Start with yours.
So I'm using this for literally the first time right now. I have always liked big chunky mice, computer mice. I have been rocking various forms of Logitech's MX Master series. Recently, it's been the MX Master 3, big chunky mice. Well, Logitech came out with the incremental revision called the MX Master 3S. The S stands for two things: speed and silence. It's got a higher like precision laser that shoots out the butt that does mouse stuff, and all of the keys are that's the science. It's got a laser that shoots out of its butt that does mouse stuff. And the keys. One of the things I love these mice, but the switches. I don't know if you can hear this.
They're very tinny, very plasticky.
Well, so the new one sounds like this.
Ooh, I hear it, but I don't.
Exactly. You hear it, but you don't. Much quieter on the click. Yeah, it's very nice. I don't have much to say. I love these mice. I mean, they're not cheap. Like I literally spent what was it? Like come up website. Don't just show me a white screen. That's real cool.
That's the best. Hey, are you using your private IP?
I am actually.
God, that thread on Twitter. We'll talk about that.
It's $100 and it's for an incremental improvement over top of my last mouse. But I love these mice. My hands are on it, for a good chunk of the day. It makes me happy.
So, a couple quick notes here. I know we talked about these mice before, and I sort of poo-pooed it. But I think I'm starting to come around on a mouse like this.
Mice are very personal. Like you have to find something that fits your hands, and these for me has just been like spot on. It's exactly the right shape, the right materials. Like,
all right,
they're great.
So I have two questions for you. The first one is, can you use it corded? So I see that it has a thing to charge it, right? And it's at the top of the mouse. Just to put it to some perspective, like I have a really nice SteelSeries mouse that I've been rocking. Like I love the weight of it. And it's fine. Like I don't have any major complaints about it, but it's wireless, but you can also plug in the charging cable and use it corded. I just haven't had really great experience with wireless mice for like everyday daily driver home use.
You can plug it in and charge it and use it, but I think it still uses wireless to communicate.
Oh. Yeah, this one is not connected wirelessly. Like Bluetooth on my home computer is off. Okay. Like it is not communicating wirelessly. It does not have a dongle or like a not a dongle, but what do they call that? Like the thing, like the
little receiver. The receiver.
Yeah, the little receiver. Yeah, it doesn't even have that. Like it's literally like you can plug it in and it's got like a nice braided USB cable, or you can use it wirelessly. If I could plug this in and use it, I would probably invest. The other question I have is, while you were talking, I sort of looked this up to see if Micro Center has them, and they do. But they have two.
Okay.
They have the Logitech MX Master 3 Advanced, and they have the Logitech MX Master 3 wireless mouse for Mac.
See, neither one of those are the new one. Those are the old one. You need the 3S.
Yep, but is there a separate Mac version versus Windows?
Okay, so all the Mac version means it's the exact same mouse. They just don't give you the USB receiver. They force you to use Bluetooth. Ta-da!
Okay. So you could use it as long as your laptop or PC has...
It's literally the exact same mouse for the same price with less in the box.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So...
Wow.
Yeah, don't buy the Mac version. I mean, it's fine if you're all about the Bluetooth. I use the little USB receiver. I guess now they call them the Logi Bolt, because it just works for me reliably all the time. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at it. I mean, it's a good looking mouse.
Yeah, I like it.
So it's got your canonical 2 buttons. You got your scroll wheel. You also have a side scroll wheel.
Yep.
Remind me what that does.
It can be horizontal scrolling, or it can do other things as assigned per application if you want.
Interesting.
It's really great for scrolling through Azure blades.
You know what? You're not wrong.
Because I don't know what fucking designer decided that everything's going to be horizontal scroll bar on Microsoft stuff, but it is. But you also can do it.
Shame on you for using the portal, but that's a different.
Well, okay, just every once in a while you need to go in there and look at something. Besides, I'm a manager now. I don't do techie things. But you can make like the horizontal scroll bar be like forward and back on an application if you want, or you can do all kinds of things.
Couple more questions here. What color did you get?
I got the black.
You didn't get graphite.
So the model of the 3 that I have is the gray, and it's fine, but it's showing some human. It's got some filth on it, so I'm like, I'm going to get a darker peripheral to hide the human.
I like the silver accents on the white, but god damn it, that thing would look gross.
It would, absolutely.
It would look really gross. Now, final question. The little like fin that shoots out the side, the design for resting your thumb on. Yes. I take it. Is that also a button?
It is a button.
So you can like kind of press down with your thumb.
Yeah. So what I have that on my Mac is if I push it down, it brings up mission control.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So it shows, and then also if you push and hold it and then move the mouse left to right, you can switch desktops.
Oh, I love that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
a huge fan of switching desktops.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at a side profile of the mouse, and like that thumb button, it looks like there is like a recessed thing where you can like lift that up. Like, can you do something with the side of this thing? Like take that off or something?
No, no.
Or is that where our battery goes?
The battery's not replaceable.
Okay.
So,
But it's like,
no.
it looks like you can like wedge your fingernail under there and lift that up or something.
I don't think so.
Or
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
really? It looks like there's some sort of little gap there.
Yeah, but you can't.
There's nothing doing, huh?
Well, so there is a little gap underneath there, and I think that's the give for that thumb button.
Okay.
So it can push.
I thought maybe you could like swap the plate or something. And then is it rubber or plastic?
It's I don't know what it's made out of. It's kind of like a soft plastic material. It feels good. It feels good.
Okay.
The
Doesn't
whole
feel cheap, I think.
No, it does not feel cheap. It feels like $100 mouse because that's what it is.
Because that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. And this kind of segues nice. Okay. So first of all, happy for you. Glad it's working out.
I want you to talk about the next thing now.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to talk about mechanical keyboards.
What did you buy?
I didn't buy anything yet.
Okay.
Hand to God, did not buy anything yet.
Okay.
So where is this coming from? We have talked about mechanical keyboards a lot on this podcast. I think Paul and I are both pretty big advocates of mechanical keyboards.
I love mine.
Yep. I mean, I use the Pro keyboard on my Mac because I love the way that thing feels and I like the way it looks on my desk. But when I'm on my PC, I really enjoy using my mechanical keyboard. I have had this Kingston 10 keyless keyboard now for a while, and it's fine. Mm-hmm. It's got the Cherry MX Red switches, so it's tactile but not super loud, and it's good. But I have noticed some quirks with it, and one thing that I've sort of had stuck in my head for a while is I want to get into custom mechanical keyboards.
Oh, okay. Like break out the solder gun?
Well,
or not
that is an option.
Or not that custom. Okay.
Not quite that far. So for the uninitiated, right? Like there's nothing stopping you from going on to Amazon or your local Micro Center and buying a mechanical keyboard. There are companies that will happily take your money that sell perfectly serviceable keyboards like the one I'm using right now, right? You know, Razer's making them now, Logitech's making them now. DOS Keyboard was one of the first brands that's still sort of around. Ducky, you know, you can buy all sorts of keyboards that are mechanical and come with the switches and everything attached. And like you literally take it out of the box, you plug it in, and ta-da, you got a mechanical keyboard. What I'm talking about here is you can take this extremely far if you want to assemble a keyboard to your exacting specifications. So keyboards have evolved to the point, and keyboard shopping has evolved to the point where you can buy individual components for keyboards and assemble them yourself. I would say that that when I say you can buy the components and assemble it yourself, this is very much a sliding scale. The first link I put in the show notes here this week is going to be for Drop. Has what they call their control control mechanical keyboards. The one in particular I'm looking at getting is the one they call their high profile mechanical keyboard. The difference being that if you look at a picture of the keyboard from the side, the shroud, like the aluminum shroud, comes up and covers up the bottom of the switches. You can make ones that don't have as much and sort of show the switches. I like this a little bit better. But what you get is if you order this thing, if you open the box, all that's going to be in there is the keyboard case and the keyboard PCB. You still have to source and install all your switches, meaning the little things that the keyboards press into to actuate, and the keycaps. So Drop sort of has this down to a little bit of a science where they are going to sell you a relatively very nice keyboard shell. And then they give you some options when you're ordering about like, hey, do you want clicky switches? Do you want tactile switches? Do you want optical switches? Do you want linear switches? Like there are sort of different things you can configure and put together yourself. So I was very, very close to ordering one of these control keyboards, but I've had some other things I've had to buy. But you can sort of click through here and you could take a look at this thing. I mean, it's a 10 keyless keyboard. It's got very good reviews online. Like if you talk to people, they say it's a perfectly fine entry level keyboard. Oh, one of the picture 18 of 20
Okay.
is going to show you what you're going to be in for. Because you're going
Oh,
to
yeah. Okay.
you're going to get essentially uh you're going to get a piece of metal with holes where the keys should be,
Yeah.
right? So you have to put in all the switches yourself, and then you have to attach the keycaps, and it's pretty cool, right? Because like if you do like the bundle and save, you can basically say, what size keyboard do you want? So I did black and high profile, and then I want I'm a big fan of the Mito XDA canvas keycaps, but the keycaps themselves are $80. So this becomes
Yeah.
very expensive, like extremely quick. So I was going to do the Halo clears. So like my estimated keyboard build is like $300.
Hmm.
That's a lot. Like I have spent like $150, $160 on mechanical keyboards before, and I thought that was sort of the upper price range, but this really starts to get into other territory.
Yeah, that's expensive. Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, it's a good looking keyboard. Now, that is just a drop in the bucket as to where you can go with this stuff. So just today, right before this podcast, there was an article on Tom's Hardware where one of the authors talks about his $863, what he calls his end game keyboard, that he custom built himself, custom sourced the parts, and built it all out. He went with what he lovingly calls the Apple of keyboards, which is this company called Rama. And they make all sorts of really, really beautiful looking keyboards and cases. But again, this is one of those things where if you want to spend a lot of money on something like this, you absolutely could. But they make all sorts of interesting things. So I was looking at the M60B keyboard, okay, which has like huge TRS-80 vibes. Here, I forgot to put a link at the show notes for this. I'll put one in there now. But the Tom's Hardware article sort of talks about what they're doing. The M65B is also something I'm interested in because it has the arrow keys. I still want arrow keys. But when you buy this, this is the kind of keyboard that you would have to solder. Like you would have to buy this, you have to solder the PCB, you get the keycaps and you install them. But there's a lot of really cool options here. I really like the look of the rose layout of it. And then, listen, it gets over my head super, super quick because they talk about dampeners and they talk about all these other things that I didn't know were even parts of keyboards. But yeah, holy cow, man.
And you need to like individually lubricate each switch. And
yep.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, no shade, not lemonade, right? No, I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum. Like this is its own sort of classification of porn as far as I'm concerned, like when you get to this level.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, do I really want to spend $870 on a keyboard? No.
Yeah,
but there's an argument to be made. There's an argument to be made. There's an argument to be made.
Okay.
That just like your mattress, this is something that in our profession you have to use every day, right? So you want to get the one that works the best for you. Again, I don't think it's $800. I don't think my end game keyboard is $860, but I'm not going to rule it completely out yet.
I could see that.
Yeah. Okay. And this company, this Rama Works, makes some really interesting stuff. Like they make very interesting products. Like the M67A keyboard, which is I think just a render. But they do like really like pie in the sky conceptual type designs. And like I said, I came across this because of that Tom's Hardware article, but yeah, I'm like super pumped for it. I'm super pumped to figure out what I'm going to spend my keyboard money on. But like I said, I've had so many other expenses here that it's not something that has to get done like right now. But I have noticed some quirks with my keyboard that I haven't been able to figure out. But I'm gonna investigate to see if I can figure it out, because like here's an example of the weirdness. So in Destiny 2, if I'm playing Destiny 2 on my PC and I get to a section where there's like a moving platform, my character, I'm not able to move while the platform's in motion.
Huh.
It's very weird. Now, if I jump, I can start moving again. So there's clearly something to do with my input or my input settings that don't like it. My keyboard's like, you're already moving, dummy. I don't need to move you anymore. And it's like, I don't know if it's like a polling setting or just some weird incompatibility. I don't really know. But I haven't dug into it enough to like definitively say what the problem is. But it's just one of those things where it's like, nah, just get a new keyboard. Like,
right. You don't want to think about it anymore.
Yeah. Because I'm due. I mean, I've had this keyboard and I'm actually holding it like sideways right now, and I need to get my little vacuum in there. But it's a fine keyboard. Like, I'll repurpose it somewhere else in the house. But I really want to try to get a new keyboard. Are you still rocking your Code keyboard? No, you're not.
I'm using a Keychron.
That's right. Keychron was the other one I looked at.
K8. Yeah, K8. Yeah. Yep.
The K8.
In fact,
which one was the K8?
In fact, I also backed their K8 Pro on Kickstarter, which is kind of like the second generation of the K8. The K8 is like the 10 keyless full size keyboard. I actually have a couple Keychrons. I've got the K8 and I've got the K3. The K3 like lives in my laptop bag. It's kind of like a slim profile. And I am awaiting my K8 Pro from Kickstarter. I'll drop the link in there. It's basically the K8, just like, hey, we learned some things. Here's a slightly nicer one.
Which one is it? The K8.
K8, yeah.
K8 Pro.
K8 Pro, yeah. It's not. I don't think it's on the website yet. They're just like fulfilling the first round of Kickstarter stuff.
So the immediate thing that I notice here is it does the keys that are much more rounded. Mm-hmm. Do they call those double shot?
I think so. Yeah.
They are very like retro, but they look pretty cool. I like the keycap thing there.
Yeah.
Bare bone. Okay, so again, they let you do the bare bones hot swappable thing.
Yeah, like everything I've bought for them has been hot swappable keys, but I've always bought them like pre-installed. Like, I don't want to be bothered with that. But I like knowing that like if a switch breaks, I can just order a replacement, and they give you all the tools right to pull it to pull everything and replace it. So yeah, they're
gonna start shipping this in June, huh?
Yep.
I do like the look of it.
Yeah, I mean,
I do like the look of it.
I mean, they're not too crazy. They're very minimalistic. But
now you currently have the K8, right? So my same question before from the mouse. Can you plug this keyboard in?
Yes, I use it wired the entire time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's fine, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then that's all I need.
In fact, there's a little switch that switches between Bluetooth and corded mode on at least on the K8s on the side. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this one's 109. I don't know. I think this would be a perfectly viable option. I just don't know which one I want. Maybe I'll wait until you get yours and you can tell me. What switch did you get?
I got the Gatron, the Browns.
The Browns are a little more. Are they more or less clicky than the red?
Less. They're less. Yeah. They're a tactile switch. Tactile. Okay. So they're not super clicky, but I like the feel of them. And these are they're also the optical switches. So again, more lasers.
Well, these ones are Gateron. Those aren't optical.
The ones I have the ones I have right now in my K8 are.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. We plan to start shipping in June.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna leave this up.
There you go.
I'm gonna leave this up. Okay. Yeah, that's all I have to say about keyboards. A couple other quick notes for the show this week. I learned a very important lesson about light switches this week.
Okay.
Yeah,
is it one of those things like make sure you turn off the circuit breaker before you touch the wires?
No.
Okay. All right.
No. So stop me if you've heard this one, Paul, because this was a new one for me. In our bathroom, we have light switches, as one does.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a man of luxury. And they are the light switches that are like dimmer switches. And how do I describe this? They are dimmer switches that You know what? I'm not going to be able to describe it. So let me just pop over.
Okay.
Let me just find, because I don't know the right term for this. I'm pretty sure they're Lutron switches. Yeah. I mean, it just says dimmer switch, but it's not a regular dimmer switch though.
Okay.
Here, I'm just going to drop this. This is about the fastest search I could find on it real quick. Pull that up real quick.
Okay. Hold on.
It is not this switch, but it is a switch that is very similar to this.
Okay. I think I've seen these. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So my switch, my switch number 1 does not have 4 buttons.
Okay.
It has like a rocker switch, but it has those little LEDs on the side to like show you the intensity of the dim.
Okay.
So what you can do is you can set on and off strength of the dim, right? So the switch can be programmed to say, when I tap the top of the rocker switch, go to this level of brightness. And when I hit the off button, take it down to 0. It does not have the on and off buttons. It is literally just a rocker switch. Okay. Now we had a light burnout. So, because I'm short, I went in the dining room, I got a chair, I stood on the chair and I unscrewed the light bulb, and it's an incandescent bulb, which might as well be a rotary phone at this point.
Okay. I was going to say like a real incandescent bulb.
A real incandescent bulb.
Ooh, it's like contraband.
Right? Yeah, exactly. It is. They are 40-watt indoor floods, that are like recessed can lighting. So I unscrewed that, like I looked at it and I said, okay, so it says 40 watts. I looked at the receptacle and it says, up to 75 for this type of bulb or whatever. So, one day I was at the gym and I popped over to Home Depot and I bought a box of bulbs. And of course, all you can get now are LED bulbs, but I made damn sure that I got dimmable LED bulbs. So I go home, and I go back into the bathroom and I open up the fresh pack of light bulbs. And, problem number 1 with switching out light bulbs, especially LEDs, is they come in different temperatures. You have bright light, you have daylight, you have soft light, you have soft white, hard light. You even have ones now where you can program the color temperature, right?
That's true. Yeah.
And like, I just knew from the jump that this bulb was going to be a different color than the other bulb. So I climbed up and I screwed in one bulb, turned it on, and sure enough, I bought the wrong color temperature. And rather than deal with the rigmarole of trying to exchange a $20 box of light bulbs, I did the other sensible thing. I decided to replace the other bulb. Okay. So I, moved my chair slightly over to the right and unscrewed the other light bulb, screwed in the next light bulb, and went over and turned it on. Now, again, these are LED dimmable lights. Like, they are designed to be dimmable. Early LEDs were not dimmable, and not all LEDs that you can buy today are designed to be dimmable, but these ones are. At least they say so on the box. But what I noticed is that the dimming function on these, when I would hit the switch to turn them off, instead of being a nice smooth transition on or off, it was kind of like steps. It was like sort of stepping down the voltage. You could actually see it stepping down the voltage till it would go off. And it was a very janky and jerky reaction. And like, I didn't buy the nicest bulbs. Like, I just bought whatever was sort of on the shelf. So I went over to my laundry room and I pulled out the other pack of bulbs we use for the indoor floods, that I weren't sure were dimmable or not. And I didn't know how many I had. I had 2 other ones of those. So I went and I replaced them with these other ones that were closer to the color I wanted. And the dimming function was much, much better. So whatever these like house brand Home Depot LED bulbs were, they did not dim very well. But I digress. So I powered on these new bulbs, and then like I hit the off button and they dimmed and then they turned back on. And I was like, I don't think this is how this is supposed to work.
That's wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I climbed up on the chair again and I unscrewed one of the bulbs, and the other bulb just like turned on all of a sudden. I was like, okay, what is happening here? Here's the lesson. These switches are not on-off switches.
Okay.
What they are is they're designed to reduce the voltage and the current to the outlet. And when you have an incandescent 40-watt bulb, the current is so low that it doesn't power them on. The resistance to power the bulb is essentially the same as being off. But with little energy sipping LEDs, just that tiny little amount of current
turn them on.
is enough to turn them on.
That's crazy.
So what I have been trying to research this weekend is, number one, are there bulbs that will account for this? Or do I need to replace my switches? Yes. So that is the conundrum I find myself in. Now, Lutron, ever so helpful Lutron, is obviously aware that this is a thing that exists. And they will happily sell you some extra wires that you can wire into your light circuits that are designed to add a minimum like resistance to deal with this exact problem. But you would need one for every circuit, and they're $18 each. And I'm not going to wire that. Like, that is just not an option for me. So when I replaced some of my upstairs switches with the smart switches, I actually have probably 4 regular rocker switches. So my option is either replace these with just standard on-off switches where it's not an issue, or try to find light bulbs that will work with these type of dimmers. So just to say as a heads up, if you find yourself in this situation where you have these type of dimmers and you want to use LED lights, this was not a thing I was prepared for.
Yeah, that's crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah, that is the lesson that I learned this week. And I don't have an answer yet. So, I searched around online and everybody's like, yep, here's your problem. Here's what you got. These dimmers always leave power on your circuit, and these LEDs are just, they have their onboard controllers that, you are powering them just enough at their lowest dimmer setting that they will still light up. And they're like, you could just put one incandescent in there. And I'm like, I can't fucking buy incandescent. Like just have like one LED and one incandescent. And I'm like, that's not what I'm asking. Like, you can't buy incandescent lighting anymore.
That's true.
At least not at the store. I haven't looked on Amazon or anything. But that's just one other thing. All right. I have one other thing I want to talk about, but I want to see if you have anything else first.
No, go ahead. Do it.
We're recording this on Memorial Day weekend.
We are.
We're recording it on a Sunday. Tomorrow's Memorial Day. Lots of things to sort of think and feel about on Memorial Day. But in particular, I want to call out that tomorrow I will be doing the Unknowns workout at my gym. I'm recently celebrating, it's either my 7th or 8th year anniversary being a member of Friendship Fitness. And Friendship Fitness was started by a group of guys. One of them is named Jeff Benek. And he's got a really interesting story. He was in the military, and he was actually a sentinel tomb guard at Arlington Cemetery. Like, he's the guy that would stand out there in the rain or the snow and the sleet and the rain and do all that. We will be doing the Unknowns tomorrow, which is a workout that Jeff himself designed. I have to get up at 7 a.m. tomorrow and do that. If you're interested in knowing more, Jeff has a podcast. It's the Friendship Fitness Podcast. Episode 66, he talks about the Unknowns, how he thought of it, what it represents, why it's important, and why he makes it a yearly tradition that we do this thing. A lot of gyms are probably going to be doing Murph tomorrow. Murph's, one of those, CrossFit workouts that everybody knows about, and everybody I think has probably done.
I've done that. Yep.
But on Memorial Day, we do the Unknowns, and it's a very unique workout. The idea is that it is 21 distinct movements for 21 reps each. There's a time cap of 50 minutes. And I have done it solo. I have never finished the workout solo, but the past few years, I've done it, me and my friend Brian, who I met through the gym. We do it and we partner it, and we basically split reps. So I'll do 10, he'll do 11, I'll do 11, he'll do 10 of the next one type of thing. Right.
Okay.
It's very challenging. It's very demanding. There are people who are in much better shape than me, that are much younger than me, that could probably complete it in the time. But again, if you're interested in learning more, I would just advise you to go listen to this episode. It's a really cool episode where Jeff talks about it and what it means to him. and it really got me thinking about all the years that I've been a member of Friendship and how it's helped me grow and get in shape and learn things about myself. And, like I said, I'm going to get up early tomorrow and do this, and it's going to be good. So I just want to give them a shout out real quick.
Awesome. I'm going to sleep in tomorrow. So
yeah, you're probably exhausted, buddy.
I'm tired. I've been trying to bring the energy for this show, but it has been a challenge. I am tired.
Yeah, I bet, buddy. Well, let's go ahead and wrap it so you can go lay down.
Yeah, let's do that. Hey, we're on the internet, doingtheirbest.com. We're on the Twitter at doingbestpod. You can find me on Twitter at Paul Baylor. And where can we find you, Drew?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Pittfurg, Pittfurg.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening.